Today we'll be talking about the dangers of vaping. I'm Aya.
Kelly. I'm Caroline.
I'm Michaela.
And the purpose of our presentation is to inform people, no matter their age, on the dangers of vaping and all of the illnesses and diseases associated with it. We also want to advise people not to vape. So, what is vaping? According to Richter from centeronaddiction.org from 2018, vaping is the act of inhaling and exhaling the aerosol, often referred to as vapor, which is produced by an e-cigarette or similar device. So, how many people have been hospitalized for vaping? According to Romo from NPR.org in 2019, there has been 2,506 victims in the US alone. When looking at the JMU Convocation Center, there are 6,426 seats. The number of victims would house 1/3 of the stadium. So, how many of you have seen one of these on campus? According to Richter from centeronaddiction.org from 2018, these are all different forms of vapes. These include e-cigarettes, Juuls, vape pens, and disposable vapes. Some common disposable vapes that you may see yourself on campus include Mr. Puff, Stig, Posh, Halo, and Twist.
An article by Radcliffe in 2019 on the Healthline website says that e-cigarettes have only been in widespread use for a little over a decade. It may take years to know whether long-term vaping leads to more deaths from heart attack, stroke, coronary heart disease, or other conditions. THC, also known as tetrahydrocannabinol, is a psychoactive ingredient in marijuana that produces a high. This topic is important to present because people our age need to be aware of the severe long-term health effects caused by these vaping products. Many people are unaware of how many individuals have gotten sick from these products, so it is necessary to inform everyone. An article by Beluz from 2019 on the Vox website stated that among 19 patients who've died in an outbreak of vaping-related illnesses, a subset of the 34 total deaths for which the CDC had substance use data, 84% reported using THC-containing products.
Recently found in many THC products is a harmful substance called vitamin E acetate. The very dangerous fact was brought to attention by Julia Beluz in a Vox.com article written in 2019 that states the vape products were acquired from informal sources such as friends or illicit in-person and online dealers. Dank Vapes, a popular counterfeit manufacturer, was the most commonly used product. It is clearly a huge risk to buy these products because you are basically putting your safety in the hands of these illicit dealers. The scary part is, there's not really a way to know if these carts are fake or not, and there's no guarantee that they will be safe. Therefore, avoiding them at all costs is the best bet. People are being ripped off and scammed because they are unaware of where these products come from. Besides them wasting money on these products, they're just causing harm to themselves. Vitamin E acetate is normally used as an ingredient in skin lotion or other cosmetic products. It becomes very harmful to people quickly because it's not supposed to be ingested into the lungs. In 2019, Denise Grady published in the New York Times, "Vitamin E acetate is sticky like honey and clings to lung tissue." Many articles have found that it has been the cause of many recent illnesses. In 2019, Lena Sun wrote on thenewsroom.com that it has killed 47 people and injured over 2,000. These people are risking their entire lives for one hit or puff off a fake product. In the end, their health is suffering the most. People need to consider the question, what is worth more, your life or a hit of a fake vape product?
Be the cause of many different health problems, including addiction, cardiovascular illness, and lung disease.
According to Donnie from WebMD.com from 2019, Lincoln Rennie, 23, was vaping off-market THC cartridges for about a month. Around a month later, he woke up feeling very sick with a fever, a stomachache, and was not able to go to work. After a few days, he had got up to 104 fever and lost cognitive function. He finally admitted himself into the hospital, and his doctors diagnosed him with acute respiratory distress syndrome. During his hospitalization, he lost 22 pounds and was on oxygen for 8 days. He still feels tired after his treatment, and he regrets being too trusting of these fake cartridges. He claims that the fake ones look just like the real ones, and this was a big wake-up call for his addiction.
In 2019, on the Yale Medicine website, Raven said that some people use vapes as a way to avoid smoking cigarettes or drift away from smoking. Now people are addicted to both vapes and cigarettes. In an article titled Vaping on the Truth Initiative site, we learned that young people who use e-cigarettes are 4 times more likely to start smoking cigarettes than their peers who do not vape. Nicotine is harmful to undeveloped brains. Younger users are more likely to become addicted, having more difficulty quitting, and may be at a higher risk for addiction to other substances in the future. In 2019, on the American College of Cardiology website, Napoli explained how vaping can affect our heart. People that vape are 56% more likely to suffer a heart attack, 30% more likely to suffer from a stroke, and more than 2 times more likely to have depression. In 2019, on the Healthline website, Radcliffe informed us on some studies that have been done about vaping and how it can affect our heart. There was a study done by the University Medical Center in Mainz, Germany. They researched 20 healthy cigarette smokers after one vaping episode, which is 2 puffs per minute for 20 minutes. The study showed that they had an increased heart rate, stiffened heart arteries, lining of arteries was unfunctional. These are factors for long-term health implications, such as stroke, dementia, and heart disease. Another study was done by Smith Heart Institute at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. They found that people who vape experience a decrease in blood flow to their heart after vaping.
Another effect of vaping is lung disease. In 2020, the CDC reported that a little under 3,000 patients have been injured, and there have been 68 deaths caused by a new disease named EVALI. EVALI stands for e-cigarette vape associated product use lung injury. These patients reported coming down with flu-like symptoms, such as fever, chills, and nausea. Eventually, they went to the hospital once they experienced breathing problems as well. In 2019, an article by O'Neill on Health.com found that vaping affects the lungs in multiple different ways. The first way is lung inflammation, which is the body's natural response to injury. Vaping causes the lungs to become inflamed, which then causes the body to have to fight against the harmful fumes. The second is cilia damage. Cilia are the hair-like structures that protect the lungs by removing debris and preventing infection. Without cilia, the lungs are more likely to have exposure to infections such as pneumonia. Vaping paralyzes the function of these cilia. Another effect is an increase in wheezing. Wheezing is often a symptom of a breathing problem because airways are being constricted. In 2019, Quorum published an article in the New York Times that states, a study of lung tissue samples from 17 patients found that the injuries can look like chemical burns or toxic chemical exposure. This is pretty much saying that every hit of a vape product is causing a reaction similar to as if a person ingested gasoline or bleach, which are strong acidic chemicals. Why would anyone ever want to ingest these things? It does not make sense at all, yet millions of people are putting themselves at risk every day. There are so many negative effects associated with vaping that affect the body both short and long term. Slowly, vaping attacks the body in multiple different ways, and by that time, it is too late to do anything to fix it. These people need to stop while they still can.
In 2019, an NPR website stated that the CDC developed 12 methods to identify substance concerns, as did the Wadsworth Center Lab. In 2019, Steinseck says in the Juul Labs website that the Center for Substance Use Research conducted a study on 13 to 17-year-olds and created the following chart based upon their results. An average of 43.2% of the people involved in the study state that someone bought it for them. 21.5% say someone offered it to them. 20% say they had bought it themselves, and 16.4% state that they had asked someone to give them some. When looking at this chart, you can ask yourself if you fall under any of these categories. If you do, ask yourself why you're putting your health at risk. In 2020, Grady from the NPR website stated that the USDA anticipated a ban was going to be put in place soon, so Juul Labs began to discontinue flavors such as mint and different fruits. Trump also decided to raise the legal age of purchasing any tobacco products from 18 years old to 21 years old. In 2020, Aubrey states in an NPR website these products are flourishing despite Trump administration's partial ban on flavored e-cigarettes announced in January and in effect as of February 5th. Banning flavors isn't helping addicts and people who are already ill, and those who have gotten ill were more likely to have contracted the illness from the black market products. Now, if you take a look at the two pictures to the right of the screen, you will notice the word Juul is spelled in two different ways. The picture on the bottom is actually sold by the black market, which is what is assisting people to get sick because they are putting the vitamin E acetate into these pods.
As the number of vaping-related illnesses and deaths in the U.S. continue to rise, government officials at the federal, state, and local levels have focused curbing and in some cases banning the sale of e-cigarette and vaping products, especially those appealing minors. An article by Raven in 2019 on the Yale Medicine website has a quote from Dr. O'Connor stating that the people you see on the streets vaping think they assume it's mostly safe, mostly water, but those liquids used in vaping are filled with all kinds of stuff like nicotine, marijuana, flavoring agents, chemicals, and we don't always know what's in there. Do you want this to be you? It doesn't matter what age you are. You can still get the lung-related illnesses and other diseases mentioned throughout our presentation.